Hey friends,
Markets move fast, and so should your understanding.
in this video we're going to be talking about restricted stock units, or RSS, which is by far the easiest type of equity to understand. RSS are a form of employee compensation that has grown in popularity in recent years. In fact, according to a recent study, 26% of all private companies offer some sort of equity compensation through RSS. But what exactly are they? And how do they work? Well, let's find out. Restricted stock units, or RSS, are a form of equity compensation that gives employees the right to receive a certain number of company shares after a specified period of time and under certain conditions. In other words, these are basically like stock options, where if you meet the vesting schedule, you get the stock outright. There are no additional steps that you need to take. You don't have to exercise any options or buy anything. You simply just get the shares outright. Now, as an employee, when you receive RSUs, you will generally not be able to sell them right away. They will be subject to a vesting schedule, which is basically a plan that determines when you will be allowed to sell your shares. So the shares will be restricted for a certain period of time until you fully own them and can do whatever you want with them. Now, the vesting schedule could be a simple one, such as 1 year from the date that you were granted the shares, or it could be more complicated, such as for years with a 1-year cliff. What this means is that after 1 year, you will own 25% of the shares that were granted to you, and then every year after that, you will earn another 25% of the remaining shares until you own 100% of them. Now, there are many different types of vesting schedules, but the most important thing to know is that the clock on your RSU vesting schedule does not stop. It keeps ticking, regardless if you are at work or not. This means that if you take time off for a vacation or even get fired, the vesting schedule will continue as planned. However, if your company goes bankrupt or gets acquired, then the vesting schedule will stop. If your company goes bankrupt, then it is unlikely that you will ever see those shares because there won't be much left for anyone. But if your company gets acquired, then you may be able to keep your shares and even sell them depending on the terms of the acquisition agreement. The main advantage of RSUs over other forms of equity compensation is that there is no risk to the employee. All you have to do is wait for the vesting period to end, and you will automatically own the shares. Now, of course, the value of those shares may fluctuate depending on the performance of the company, but at least you don't have to worry about exercising options or buying shares at a discount. The downside, however, is that if you leave the company before your RSUs vest, then you will generally forfeit them. There may be some exceptions where you can still keep the shares if you were to leave, but it is rare. As you can see, restricted stock units are a great way for employees to build wealth over time. By understanding how RSUs work, employees can make the most of their benefits and invest in their future. If you want to learn more about RSUs or other forms of equity compensation, then check out our playlist. We have tons of free resources that can help you learn more about your equity. Alright, so we just covered a lot of information there, and it is likely that some of it went over your head. That's alright. Don't feel bad. Just remember that you can always go back and review as much as you need to. It's also a good idea to supplement this video by reading about RSUs on our playlist. You can find tons of great articles and guides that can help you better understand RSUs. So, if you want to learn more about restricted stock units or other forms of equity compensation, then check out our playlist. Also, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support helps us grow and allows us to continue producing helpful content. Thanks for watching.